everyone, this is Noel Crawl. I'm a host of Nerd or Novice, the podcast where we watch something and a nerd and a novice discuss it beforehand and after, and we get a little bit into the history of it. Joining me today, who do I got here? No, you gotta say your own name.
Like, what's happening? Danica Marie.
All right, and you are a YouTuber of sorts. You tell me.
I have a YouTube channel under the same name, Danica Marie, as well as possible podcast in the future.
Okay, what's that one going to be at? You want to do a pre-plug before it even exists?
Well, I want to have a more deep dive into certain conspiracy theories and thought-provoking content.
Oh, you're gonna love today's subject then. There's a little bit of conspiracy. There's like some like World War II like Nazi conspiracies to it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the product that we're going over today is Raiders of the Lost Ark, a friggin' phenomenal classic in my opinion. I'm this week's nerd. And Desiree, you've not seen this movie, nor have you seen Star Wars, right?
No, I have not seen any of the Indiana Jones films except for partial of the Don't Crucify Me, Crystal Skull,
which doesn't count.
Which not only doesn't count but was horrible. And I have not seen any of the Star Wars, Star Trek films at all, and none of the Alien films either.
We're trying to stay in the realms of like Spielberg and George Lucas today.
Oh god.
Have you seen E.T.?
Yes, I've seen E.T.
Okay, so you've seen E.T. and Jurassic Park, so you know you're Spielberg a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. But like Lucas, just like no clue.
Who's George Lucas?
he wrote... And
oh wait, I heard the name on one of the crossovers for the DC thing when they went back in time.
He wrote... Oh my god, again, I don't think you hate sci-fi. I think you just hate certain types of sci-fi movies.
Okay, because like my whole thing is like, usually I don't like, it's kind of like the same thing with fantasy. I love fantasy, but like I cannot stand high fantasy, like supremely high fantasy.
And yet both of one of our favorite movies is Jurassic Park, which is
yeah, basically
is the perfect balance. I still think it's the perfect balance between like high concept sci-fi and like let's just have some fun sci-fi. Just like the dumbest what if we fucking cloned dinosaurs and made it into a theme park? But
you know that they would definitely do that if they could clone dinosaurs.
I would retire there. I would just work there every day.
Because, like, think about it. They were trying to make money off of anything possible. So if they were able to clone something as unique as dinosaurs, they would definitely turn it into an amusement park.
I mean, I would go to a theme park where every day they clone a copy of Hitler. And then, like...
You get to shoot it?
No, you're there for, like, a week. And so, like, it's not baby Hitler. No, like, every day they wake up like an adult Hitler. And there's a raffle, so every day, because like you can't have every person do it. That's too much.
No, that's too much cloning.
But there's a raffle, and if you get picked, you get to go into like a gladiator death match with Hitler. But like he's drugged up on like morphine. Like it's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight in any way. But that's why I wanna do that. Honestly, it'd be pretty great. We could get other like celebrity we could get like Mussolini. Depending on your political beliefs, Che Guevara. I don't really think... I wouldn't drug him up. I'd make that more of an even fight. Like...
Osama Bin Laden.
Yeah.
That's another one.
We'll do a Bill Cosby one, but it's more like indoors.
Dude, I would do that one. I would so do the Bill Cosby one. I fucking hate him.
The rules for the Bill Cosby one are like, it's indoors and you have to poison his drink without him knowing.
Yeah.
And then like
that's gonna be the ultimate karma.
And of course, like we're gonna implant the memories of the real Cosby into this guy, so like there's a reason for all of it. Anyways,
it's gonna be great.
Back on topic. So there are 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Okay.
All right, and the second one is actually a prequel to the first one. However, I want your first impressions, and then I'm going to tell you a little history about Indiana Jones. Not too in-depth, but just give me, based off of what you know just from the general, like,
okay, I know the title.
Okay.
And I know it has, like, a famous actor in it or something.
Yes. You know, this little-known actor, just Harrison Ford.
Yeah, right. I saw him in, what was it? I don't know. In another movie. I'm assuming it's gonna be super old school. First of all, supremely old school. Lots of action, lots of like old school, like fighting on a beach or some bullshit. Or he has a whip, right? Or a lasso or some shit. Yeah. He has and then he's got like, I don't know. Okay, this is my question. I have not seen the movie yet, but like I want to know why he's dressed as a safari guide.
I mean, I think safari guides are dressed as him.
No, I don't think that's how it works.
Nah, he's not. He's not a safari guy. He's dressed like a 1940s cowboy.
That makes no sense.
No, because like cowboys, it's all about like the work pants and the cowboy hat and the leather jacket. He walks around and like the lasso. He walks around with a bullwhip, leather jacket, and then a fedora.
So like a modern cowboy. He's a modern cowboy. That's
but it's set in the 30s. So
you also know I hate westerns, right?
No, but it's not like a western.
Okay, I was like, if this is where that's going,
it's not
just a warning.
No, like it's the imagery is lifted, but not the motifs, not the themes.
So I don't even know what the fuck Raiders of the Lost Ark means, but Lost Ark, does that mean Ark of the Covenant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Indiana Jones typically goes after exactly. You're gonna like this one because there's a lot of talk about. There's still talk about this today that Hitler was digging up, hunting for religious artifacts, hoping that the power.
No, that's so true. I believe that.
It is true that he sent people out digging for random shit.
Yeah.
But whether or not he found anything, that we're gonna find that out in your podcast, aren't we?
When you look at like just quick spin off, like real quick, if you look at what Hitler like accomplished in such a little time. Compared to like everything else, I feel like there has to be some kind of like abnormal explanation for it. People have like their theories, like some people say aliens, some people say other things, but like there has to be some sort of like explanation for how he accomplished so much in so little time and at the like extreme velocity that he did. You know what I mean? Like that was insane.
For me, it's always been it was just about the timing. He was just. I mean, World War One was only, we were still recovering from that, and so he's just like, fuck, I'm gonna grab this shit while it's, technically the borders aren't redrawn yet, so I'm gonna grab it while I can. But no, I definitely like the idea, and like I love that it's true that he was so insane. He went hunting for artifacts, and so this movie gets into that. Another thing, so. What the second movie, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Fuck. What do you think that one's about?
The problem with that one is I know nothing about it other than Jackie told me to think of her while I'm watching it.
Who's Jackie?
From work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our friend from work.
Yes. She said that one was her favorite one.
It's very good. It's considered like the weakest of the original
I was
trilogy.
going to say, like, Marty said it sucked. Again,
I don't understand how anyone can say it sucks. It was so much fun. And so much of the great iconography comes from it. Especially the great tagline, if adventure has a name, it must be Indiana Jones. Such a great tagline.
That's fair. Okay. From, like, I know very little, but I can agree with that.
That's a great tagline.
Everyone can agree.
Mm-hmm. That's just my laptop. Hooray. Hold on.
I wonder if that even picked up.
Okay, so Raiders of the Lost Ark. Did you know that the movie is just called Raiders of the Lost Ark? It's not actually called Indiana Jones and the...
No, I thought it was called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's been sort of like...
Is that like a Mandela effect or something?
Yeah, it's basically been sort of like retitled that over the time. But like originally it was just called Raiders of the Lost Ark. Kind of like the original Star Wars is not called Star Wars A New Hope. It's called just Star Wars. Yeah.
That's crazy. Now I have to go back. When I leave here, I'm probably going to research a Mandela effect on that, because I know for a fact, even person who has never seen it like me always references it as Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like that.
It's sort of George Lucas is doing. He's an insane human being, George Lucas. Basically, he keeps going back and changing all of his stuff. He's re-edited Star Wars about 4 times. That I'm pulling that number out of my ass, but he has re-edited it a number of times. And in fact, it's so hard to get the original copies on anything but VHS. It took me 10 years to hunt down my DVD copies
Shit.
Even still, we barely get them in at work. For those of you that don't know, we work together at a entertainment exchange that shall go unnamed for right now. Not for any
to get like
reasons.
an idea of what this workplace is. I feel like in a non-bad way, it's a glorified like Goodwill. Like
it is the coolest Goodwill you will ever go to.
It is like it's like Cheese Factory versus like Village Inn, like high
the Cheese
class.
Factory?
Yeah, because like they both have like pies and cakes and shit.
Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, what did I say?
You said Cheese Factory.
Oh shit! The Cheesecake Factory.
I mean, a facility that manufactures cheese and a Village Inn are on two very different spectrums. No. So I think comparing them is very possible.
Yeah, just because like one is like known for like high class cheesecake and cakes and stuff. Not very much for their food.
No. For those of you that don't know, we're the Cheesecake Factory, and Goodwill is. I think it's more like Denny's because it's not. Yeah. I like Goodwill.
Yeah.
But
Goodwill's like, but Village Inn isn't that bad. It's like city of old people.
All right, we're not getting into this. All right. So here's the box.
Okay.
All right, look at it. Don't read any descriptions, but like just take a gander and like tell me like what you think is gonna happen.
Okay, so on the cover there's two of them being. It looks like they're trying to be burned at the stake. That's
you're not
scary.
entirely wrong.
Well, I mean, they don't look like they're burning, but it looks like it's awfully close.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's going to be a female like protagonist because he's obviously not a bad looking guy. Mm-hmm. There has to be like
he's not
like well, at least back then like
he's still pretty good looking.
Well, he's a little out of my age range, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know, but like in this movie, he's almost 40. So
really,
yeah, he's old.
Shit.
He was like 35 when he was in Star Wars, and everyone else was like 18.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh, not reading. I'm not reading.
Okay, don't read any of that.
I'm not reading. Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you a little. All right, tell me your impressions.
Okay, so I'm thinking it's gonna be this safari guy. I'm kidding. So I think
archaeologist.
He's an archaeologist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes so much more sense.
You thought he was just a dude that like.
Yeah, I don't know.
You thought he was just a dude that likes wandering in the jungle and then always gets like in trouble with Nazis because he just went for a hike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now new information. Okay, so I'm thinking this is just like a theory. Okay,
all right.
To refrain yourself from laughing, but so I'm thinking the archaeologist is gonna find clues. It's gonna be like a national treasure type thing, like where like they find clues, right? And they're like, wait, something sketchy's going on. So then he has to go. He's like, obviously he's an archaeologist, so like he wants to like find the Lost Ark, right? Like the Ark of the Covenant.
It's in the name of his.
No,
his
but
profession.
like he wants to find the Ark of the Covenant, right? But while he's trying to find it, there's like Nazis that are still like around protecting it. And that's like the whole thing of the movie. And then he probably has like a female archaeologist friend or something, and her hot ass comes in and like helps him out because I mean there has to happen, like there has to be like at least some kind of like female love thing in there, which is so annoying, but
you'll see. It's not as bad as it sounds.
But I'm thinking it's gonna have like a twist ending where like he finds it and there's actually nothing there, or it was like all like a ruse, or like it's all in your head, or it like disintegrated, or some kind of like bullshit basically. Like,
all right.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Am I anywhere near close?
I will neither confirm nor deny. I can tell you, you're not off the wrong track though. Like you're getting some ideas.
Okay.
But I want to tell you a little history about it. So George Lucas, like after Star Wars, so he and Spielberg were buddies, and they had a deal where they're like, hey, whatever movies we make, we'll give each other a percentage of the total profits. And Spielberg has obviously made a shitload more off of that than George Lucas has.
Apparently.
But George Lucas came forward to Spielberg and was like, hey, I want to make sort of like a modern archaeologist cowboy. And Spielberg was like, I really want to make a James Bond movie, but I can't. So they sort of combined it together, and his original name was Indiana Smith.
No.
Yeah, I know, right?
I hate that.
It's terrible.
I hate that it has no ring to it. But it also could be just the fact that we're conditioned at this point to recognize the name Indiana Jones.
No.
Had it been from the beginning Indiana Smith, we'd probably be like, oh my god, Indiana Smith.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound right. Also, Indiana was the name of George Lucas's dog.
Oh, okay.
Just like Chewbacca was also one of his dogs.
Where do you even get the name Chewbacca? Like, what kind of, like, 3-year-old thinking do you gotta think to get that name?
Where do you get the name Han Solo and Darth Vader?
Okay, yeah, you're not wrong. Okay? But
Luke
that's just proving my
Starkiller.
point. That's his name.
That was his original name.
Okay, that's a horrible
I
name.
know. Skywalker's way better. So yeah, they got together and they made this movie. And some fun facts, all right? There's a scene where there's a swordsman and Indy gets stopped by the swordsman. And there's a bit of a fight. And I just want you to know that in this fight, just know this going into the fight, Harrison Ford had horrible diarrhea.
Wait, was he like shitting himself throughout
Almost,
that
yeah.
scene?
So everyone in the movie got really sick because they filmed in Tunisia, which is
Okay.
where my sister-in-law and nephew live.
Okay.
Hey, Nadia. And Ryan. Little Ryan. I love Ryan. Yeah, they were filming in Tunisia, and everyone was eating at the local restaurants except Spielberg, who was too busy like working on production photos, so he just ate cans of Spam in his production tent. And everyone else got horrible food poisoning, except for Spielberg, because he just ate nothing but Spam.
I feel like that was planned. There's like, what?
It happens. You know? It's just how it goes.
That's sketchy. That's weird. I don't like that.
Nah, Tunisia is a fun place to live, right, Nadia? No, but it's just some general little info there for you. All right.
Okay.
You're gonna.
I'm probably not gonna be able to take that scene seriously now.
No. You're gonna enjoy the scene a lot more. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Too, all right. I think they spent an entire day of filming on shooting. There's a little scene with a monkey, and the monkey does a Heil Hitler sigil.
Yeah.
And they spent an entire day just trying to film that because like they couldn't get the monkey to do it.
What?
Yeah. Fun little
serious?
facts like that. The finale, they used a time-lapsed melting of a wax head. You don't know what I'm talking about yet, but you'll know exactly what I mean when you see it.
Sound like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
man. So much good stuff in this movie.
I feel like you're way too excited for this movie. Not only that, but you're way too excited to be like the one showing me this movie.
Yeah, it's exciting. All right.
I think I'd be more mad if I watch it and end up liking it.
Oh, I know.
Because that means I went around 21 years without watching a movie that I potentially could have loved the entire time.
I know, right?
Like,
that's how we
That's mind-boggling.
That's how it goes. All right. So, we'll probably do some more fun facts after the movie.
Okay.
But for right now, I think it's time to start Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
All right. Okay. You just watched Raiders of the Lost Ark for the first time. First impression.
I liked it. It was a good movie. You were right all along.
I know I was. I usually am. That's not the point here. The point here is like your description was pretty close.
It was not close.
No, it wasn't. You had a lot of the ideas down, but there was some stuff you were missing. So, what do you think? First of all, tell me what you thought the story was.
Like, there's a lot of things going on in that movie.
I know, but just like A, B, and C plot points.
Okay, so A. Archaeological teacher, apparently, who I am convinced is like a layman's terms, like Superman, like 30s era cowboy Superman.
You brought up a good point that
Come on, he Clark Kented everybody.
It's true. He wears glasses for like literally no
reason.
And
like a suit, and then he's like all awkward when he's in like his quote unquote Clark Kent form.
He's the big old nerd.
Yeah, and then when all of a sudden glasses come off and he's like this badass like cowboy with a whip, and I'm just like, fuck, what do you mean? That is Clark Kent and Superman. But so point A, archaeologist discovers that the Nazis are looking for the Ark, right? Point B would be, I was so close behind, that's so hard to like, okay, so then he figured out that they're not looking in the correct place, so then he had to like do all this shenanigans.
You're leaving out Miriam though.
I'm leaving out Miriam because I feel like there was like no point in her character other than getting like in trouble a lot, because she
has the medallion.
Okay, he could have taken the medallion. He didn't have to take her. Okay, the reason I have a problem with Miriam, okay, is because one, she was obviously just to like fulfill like that female necessity in every fucking movie at that point.
But she
can't fight. Okay, she has no archaeological
She hits the guy
training.
with the pan.
What freaking who?
Also, she pulls a knife on the main bad guy,
which she has to drop because she gets caught.
Yeah,
she's drunk.
But no, she can handle her liquor.
But the point was,
also, the first thing she does is punch Indiana Jones in the face.
One punch. Okay, a punch, knife holding. She didn't actually stab anyone, and she hits someone once with a frying pan by leading them into like a little crevice door thing. Okay, she's a freaking useless character. Okay, the entire thing, if they would have taken Miriam out, do you know he probably wouldn't have had any problems? Okay, the whole reason he got into that big fight in the square was because she was getting kidnapped for the first time. Okay, second time actually, and then on top of that, he almost died trying to save her from getting locked inside the airplane.
All right, this is gonna piss you off, all right? But turns out Indiana Jones himself is inconsequential to the plot.
You're not wrong.
This was a big thing that a lot of people have picked up on, and I hate that it was on the fucking Big Bang Theory. But Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones is not necessary to the plot, because the Nazis would have eventually found the Ark anyways, and they would have opened it on the island and immediately all died. And then any other Nazis that show up on the island would also open the Ark and then immediately die. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The only thing that Indiana Jones did was like make everything go faster.
Yeah, he sped up the process.
That's the whole point of his character. But like, I mean, in the framework of it being like an Indiana Jones film, like the movie being like about him mostly, Miriam was a throwaway character. There, I said it. Okay, she did not need to be in this film, and that's what made me angry the entire time.
She has good character though. She's interesting.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
She's not.
The first thing she does is punch Indy in the face. No,
that's the second time you referenced that.
Yeah, because no other indie girl will ever do that.
No other freaking thing about her is actually amazing, or unique.
You haven't seen Willie yet. Willie is the most useless character.
You can't look at it like that. You have to look at it as just this film. Okay,
I am looking at it as just this film. She's my favorite. She's the best.
I hate her.
She is the best.
I don't like her. No. Okay. C would have to be the Ark is a very dangerous weapon, so kills everybody, and then of course the US government decides to like hide it in like this big warehouse thing.
Which, if they made a movie today, it would be Indy hides it from the government.
Basically, yeah, because now there's just like the whole time I'm watching this, and he goes, he's working for the government to find like the Lost Ark. That doesn't make sense. But that's me thinking today, like government's behind everything and planned.
Even in the fourth movie, Indy is working against the U.S. government.
When he was working for them in the first one?
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense.
I know. Also, the fourth movie's only supposed to be 20 years later, but it's very noticeable Harrison Ford is aged 40 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, there's no way that was 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford is like 60 in that movie or something. Like, he's old as dirt.
I mean, you've been cursing the whole time. I don't think it matters anymore.
I know, but I'm trying not to, like, do it in every sentence.
You know, you don't want Jesus to listen to this.
If he was real.
Yeah. Oh. Did you not see his power in that movie just now?
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? If we're gonna reference all of the movies, I'm pretty sure that was actually like the aliens from the fourth movie.
No, it wasn't.
Come on, you're gonna tell me that there's like these huge, crazy like alien beings
The
that
aliens
like
don't
invisible
count.
and shit.
They don't.
And then you're gonna come back to this and say it's magic? That's bullshit.
They don't count.
No.
The aliens. Nobody likes that movie. Doesn't count. And
Okay, then why haven't you've literally been referencing it this entire
yeah,
time?
it's one of my favorites because it's so terrible. I enjoy it like a Domino's pizza. It's not good in any way, but damn it, it's satisfying.
I used to like Domino's until they fucked me over.
I don't think we have time to get into that
No,
today.
but god damn, I hate Domino's.
Okay, you're derailing the conversation here.
I said my A, B, and C.
Okay, what did you think of the like action and all the practical effects and shit?
Horrible.
What?
But I'm looking at it from like this day and age from the movie. Like we just like
This looks better than the new Star Wars movie.
which I have not seen.
All right, this looks better than the Meg. Did you see the Meg?
No.
Meg.
No.
What was the last movie you saw?
I want to see that one though because that's about the megalodon.
What was the last thing you saw? She doesn't remember.
Oh my. Crap. I think.
This looks better than most, like, excluding, like, maybe Marvel. This looks better.
I was gonna say, like, the last thing I remember, like, clearly was, like, Infinity War.
This looks better than, like, almost anything coming out today.
I don't think so. I think there was a lot of, like, I think shot-wise, it looked great. But when it comes to, like, all the punching and everything, it was very of its time.
It's very timeless because the 80s action wasn't like this. This is like a recreation of like 40s action,
which also wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good in the 40s, but it's exciting in this because we got Harrison Ford. He's scrappy and fast, and he's like putting his whole body behind punches.
But you know what? I really do enjoy the fact that Harrison Ford, for some reason, just can monkey climb anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, is there anything this boy cannot climb or jump over or slide under? Like,
nah, he's Indiana fucking Jones.
AKA Superman.
Maybe.
More than likely.
So, this is actually my second favorite Indiana Jones. Last Crusade is my favorite. I know that's blasphemy.
Is that the third one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I know that's blasphemy for a lot of people, but it is my favorite.
Why is it your favorite?
The pacing is, like, super fast. There's Sean Connery's in it, and he's super fun. What?
No one likes Sean Connery. Like, why do you like Sean Connery?
Okay, nobody likes Sean... Wait, people love Sean Connery.
No idea who
Yes,
you're
they
talking
do.
about, but...
You don't... Do you even know who Sean Connery is?
Yes, I know who Sean Connery is.
He's... Hello, Pushy.
Yes.
Who's your daddy now, Trebek? He's that guy.
Okay, I'm aware.
Yeah, the best SNL celebrity parody ever. Alright, whatever. Sean Connery's in it. It's great. It's got a fast action. It's got a great treasure. It's got great villains. It's got lots of globetrotting. This movie, very little globetrotting. We have the jungle, then we go to the snowy mountains, and then we go to Egypt for the rest of the movie.
Basically, yeah. It was like 3 separate places. But I don't know if you can even really count the jungle because you were there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's like... That's
other
like
big
half.
scene.
That's half of all Indiana Jones iconography is from just that scene.
Jesus Christ!
No, it's the boulder coming down.
That's like his famous scene.
That's
Are you serious?
That is so famous for adventure
Are you
stories
serious?
now.
Are you serious?
What?
Are you being actually serious? That's his famous scene.
That's very famous.
Oh my god! Out of that entire movie, that's the scene they picked out.
What do you mean picked out? No, that's just it's a very famous scene because it's a really good scene.
Okay.
The iconography of Indiana Jones, a lot of it comes from that scene. Also, a lot of it comes from Temple of Doom.
I think I know what you're talking about because I've seen, like, for instance, during the movie, I was, like, saying how throughout the movie there were, like, significant references that I was picking up. Like, for instance, the Pirates of the Caribbean reference.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I was like, that is definitely a scene from Pirates of the Caribbean. But obviously this came out first. I'm like, okay, so they were nodding their hat at Indiana Jones. And then you were nice enough to tell me that actually Pirates of the Caribbean is like fashioned after Indiana Jones.
A lot of it is. This movie was very influential for the adventure genre. This and Star Wars sort of like are the beginnings of the template for like modern action movies, for modern action adventure.
Okay.
You can see it trickle down.
Well,
there's the Uncharted video game franchise, which is just Indiana Jones on crack. I mean, even Doctor Who is definitely borrowing a lot from this sort of stuff now. I know you don't know anything.
I've never seen Doctor Who.
Even stuff like Harry Potter, the music especially. Harry Potter.
Yes.
Because John Williams did the first Harry Potter, and he also did this. What did you think of the music, by the way?
The music was great. You were right. The soundtrack was very well done.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that.
It's John Williams. So, fun fact: John Williams and Spielberg, they first worked together on Jaws.
Okay. And
they did every single movie together up until maybe only the past 10 or 15 years did they stop doing every single... They still try to do every movie together, but John Williams had to do Star Wars, which is why he couldn't do Ready Player One for Spielberg.
Okay.
So it's very rare that John Williams does not do Spielberg's music.
And that's probably why most of the Spielberg movies have like iconic
Yeah, they have
soundtracks.
Awesome music. Jurassic Park is up there. One of the best.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. You're obsessed with Jurassic Park.
I have the tattoo.
You're obsessed.
Yeah, I know. So, quick tangent.
Quick tangent?
Yeah.
This whole thing's a tangent.
Who would you rather go on a date with? Indiana Jones or Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park?
Alan Grant.
Explain why. No, I love Sam Neill. Sam Neill, I want him to adopt me as his grandson.
No, it's not even like the fact of like how he looks or anything. It's his brain. I like his brain.
So you're more into paleontology than archaeology?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, because like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm obsessed with like anyone who knows me like in my day-to-day life would like outside of work would know that I'm obsessed with like ancient Egypt, ancient Greece. Like, I'm obsessed with like artifacts and collecting things. And don't get me wrong, that's very much like a love I have. But when it comes to paleontology, I'm obsessed with dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs are awesome.
Yeah, so like when it comes to like discovering like animals, like for paleontology and like digging, oh my god, I love it.
Okay.
Like, that makes me very excited.
Okay, then that one was a little too leaning in your favor.
Yeah,
so
that was too easy.
let's do this one.
Okay.
Indiana Jones or
Okay.
Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. The Jeff Goldblum character.
Yeah, I'm aware. Might pick Indiana Jones with that one.
All right. I understand.
Yeah,
That being said, as you can see, the Goldblum here. For those of you that can't see, I have the pop vinyl of sexy Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park.
It's great. It really is.
It's very sexy. I'm getting a little flustered just
Oh my goodness.
holding it.
He's a great character. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic character. But I have a feeling I'd be just done with the conversation with him within.
Because he's such a snarky dick.
Yes, he is. Oh my god.
Indy's snarky, but he's got a lot of honor behind him.
Yeah.
He's a womanizer, but like that's like his least favorable characteristic.
Yeah.
But like everything else about him is super like about honor.
Definitely so.
That's why he was
And
one of.
Are we? Why do you have this pop?
I love it. Jurassic Park. That's not. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by my sexy Jeff Goldblum pop. I will hide it. All right.
He's putting it back on the
He's
shelf.
going back. He's going back.
Yeah.
All right. You can have
And
Bob Ross Deadpool
But
instead.
now it's staring at me.
Yeah. I mean, those
Bob
abs are
Ross
staring at you.
Deadpool. But why do you take them out of the box? I love them better.
That's not the. We're not talking about that right now. Okay. Keep it going. God. All right. No. All right. Where the hell were we?
You're asking me between A and B, like different characters.
Yeah. All right. So, in terms of a movie villain, how did you like Belloc?
He was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he's not like the type of like character that I'm so invested into where like I would want to know more or want more from him in like future films.
Yeah.
Like, and on top of that, he kind of like, he just did not scare me. He didn't make me nervous. I was just like, oh shit. Well,
Belloc is just more of a.
he's a charismatic type, charming type villain. Like,
Yeah. He's more like a C-list Bond villain.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah, for him, I've always been like, he's the C-list, the real bad guy, the one that I really love to hate is definitely Tote, who he's never named in the movie by his actual name. He's just in the credits, Tote, and he's the sniveling, bug-eyed Nazi that burns his hand in the bar.
Are you serious?
His name's Tote.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, but don't you kind of love to hate him?
Okay, I see your point.
Yeah.
Because I remember, okay, so this is
Just
how I rate on my villains.
He-
If I'm like watching the movie and later on I'm just like, God damn, I hate that guy. Like I never felt that way about Bullock, but like apparently Tote. Whenever I saw him after he had burned his hand, I was like, they fucking should have killed him. I was like, God damn it, they should have fucking killed him.
Yeah, he's
I was
dangerous.
so mad. Well, it was more like I just hate him.
Yeah, you're supposed to. He's a goddamn Nazi. All right, how about the Nazi monkey? How'd you feel about him?
I felt bad that he died.
He was a Nazi.
But he didn't know that.
Oh my. Oh my God.
It wasn't the monkey's fault that he was trained by a Nazi. Okay.
That's like saying I was gonna make a joke about like dogs in prisoner camps, but I can't do it. It's too.
Don't do that. Don't go there, please. No.
I'll go wherever the hell I want, honestly, but I don't want to go there right now. Okay. So for side characters, how'd you like Sala, played by John Rhys Davies, who also plays Gimli in Lord of the Rings,
Who also
and he is the bad guy in Princess Diary 2, The Royal Wedding.
The Royal Wedding.
The Royal Wedding.
Which is why I could not take him seriously for half the movie.
Which, according to me, is the inferior, but according to you,
It's so hard to rate those. Just because, like, the first one you have your love for it, but the second one has Chris Pine. So, like, it's really hard to choose. And not to mention, the second one, she learned how to become a queen instead of learning to be, like, I don't know, human in the first one. So, it's really hard.
All right, well, to get it back on topic, Chris Pine and John Rhys Davies are in the same movie, apparently. Yeah. How would you feel if Chris Pine were to take on the role of Indiana Jones? Because
I would watch the shit out of that.
There is talk of a new Indy at some point. They're doing one more with Ford, which
Before he dies?
I don't want that one. I want them to James Bond it. I want, like, just keep it in, like, this weird little time loop. It's just, like, this 40-year time period.
Yeah.
And just keep I wanted Chris Pratt.
Okay, he would make it so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that would be great.
He's got to tone down his charm a little bit.
I just imagined Chris Pratt in, like, the Indiana Jones suit, and I'm kind of not hating it. That's a great... I vote for that.
Yeah, I bet a lot of women vote for that. All right. Okay, so we already discussed Miriam. What did you think of...
Fuck Miriam.
He's barely in it, but what did you think of Marcus Brody, the museum curator at the beginning?
I hate that guy.
Why do you hate him?
Because it kind of seemed like he was using Indiana Jones. Like,
No, he's his friend.
I don't like him.
He's a big player in the third one. You're going to really like him.
Okay, so it's
really
going to change my...
Yeah, he's really fun. You're going to like him.
Because from what I took of it was like this old, capped out, like, treasure hunter who was like, hey, you're a treasure hunter and you're really good. Probably better than me. So you go do all the dangerous stuff because I'm too fucking old. That's what I read from that whole friendship. Quote, unquote, friendship. Okay? Like, that's not a friendship.
Hey, that friendship probably found a French ship together.
I hate you.
Third person in the room, would you like to comment on that joke?
I was not paying attention to that joke.
I said that friendship probably found a French ship.
No.
See? She agrees with me.
Back me up, Internet. I know you're there for me. All right, third person in the room, go back to not existing, please.
Okay.
I appreciate your support. All right. So some fun facts. This was originally going to be starring Tom Selleck.
That would have been so cool. I love Tom Selleck.
Would it have been, though?
Okay, so I feel like it would have been a completely different look on the take of Indiana Jones. It wouldn't be the way we see it now. It would definitely be completely different. But I feel like it could be... You could enjoy it for what it was with Tom Selleck.
For me, that would ruin its timelessness. Tom Selleck is very much a staple of the 80s. Yes, he's done other stuff, but he is very much
Or it could have helped him grow as an actor, and he would have actually surprised the rest of us.
Possibly.
It is a possibility.
All I'm saying is, in my brain, if he was in it, it would immediately date the movie. Harrison Ford, he was working constantly from like Star Wars all the way up until wherever he took that weird long break. But he was working so long, he's sort of a timeless actor. Tom Selleck was like doing his biggest stuff in the 80s.
Okay.
So like that, Harrison Ford in this role really helps keep everything timeless for me. Even when Harrison Ford's dead, it's still going to be like, wow, this is really cool.
Okay, I see your point. Yeah, but I feel like even if it would have been Tom Selleck, it would have been a very interesting movie to see.
Yes, I mean, I'd probably still love it. The script is great.
Yeah.
So, another fun fact, Michael Eisner was the producer that okayed the script, which is very, very weird because Michael Eisner is a terrible human being that is afraid of original ideas. If you don't know, he's the current CEO of the Disney Corporation.
Don't like him.
Yes.
Don't like him. Really just don't like him.
He's the reason that we have about 10 million more Star Wars movies coming out. He's the reason we have nothing but live-action remakes of old Disney movies. He is,
But I love the live-action remakes.
Oh, God. Anyways, he's not the best person.
No, I agree with that. I just watched a video. I can't remember who was it from. It was either from like Film Theory or one of those other theory type channels. And apparently he Eisner stole the idea of like either, I can't remember which one it was, Bug's Life or Ants or something, and fed it to someone else. Or
Eisner was with Disney by that point.
Yeah.
So
and it was between, I think it was
okay, get back to us, Internet. No, we're done. Internet, get back to us, okay?
They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we all know the Finding Nemo, Shark Tale, Bugs Life, Ants controversy.
Don't forget Shrek and Monsters Inc. both at the same time.
They're different enough that I don't consider that.
I consider them pretty close because they both had a really funky sidekick. They both are large creatures, and even though
we're not going to get into this, but in my opinion, Monsters Inc. is a heartwarming tale about the paranoia that all children have that there's a monster in their closet, and Shrek is just what if fairy tales listen to Smash Mouth.
And see, I think Shrek is like a parody of all fairy tales, so
it is, but it's also what if fairy tales listen to Smash Mouth.
Another time.
I know. All right, we're gonna do. That's it. Next week we're doing Shrek. No, we're not. We're not.
We're so not doing Shrek.
Okay, so another fun fact. Can you guess which current AAA director was working on the production? What's it called when they write up the? They draw out what the camera's gonna film. I forget.
The Play Story or fuck.
Whatever. All right. Storyboard. Yeah.
There we go.
So,
Storyboard.
can you guess which current day AAA director was working on the storyboard for Steven Spielberg?
I would love to pretend that I would know enough directors to guess this.
No, he's a really he's one of the top directors right now.
Spielberg's name is the only one that's coming to brain because that's the only active director I know.
He was the director on Indie, so he couldn't.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's the only director that's coming to my brain because I only know him.
He has a huge franchise behind him right now, and it's getting a new movie this Christmas.
It's getting a new movie this Christmas. What the fuck is coming out this Christmas? Oh my god! Only Disney movies are coming to my brain. Oh no. Like movie? Like it's a movie?
It's a big movie.
Can you give me a genre?
Action.
Shit. Now only James Bond is coming to my brain. That's not right. Freaking A.
And they did 5 movies. Now this Christmas they're doing the spin-off movie, and it's action sci-fi. It may or may not have giant robots in it.
Giant robots?
Mm-hmm.
Transformers?
Thank you, invisible third person. So yes, Michael Bay.
Oh my god, I know that name!
Michael Bay was working on the storyboards for the temple scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he met Spielberg.
Shut up, you're lying.
No, he was only like 20-something.
That's insane. And then Michael Bay became like his own fucking name. Like,
yeah, I mean, for better or for worse.
Yeah, you're probably right. I could have guessed that. Just like nothing was coming to my brain. Thank you, Casper.
Shut the fuck up, Casper! You want to go back in the vacuum cleaner?
Oh my god.
You bitch! Anyways, folks, we're back now.
That's his sense of humor.
It is. I'm terrible. Okay. Keep it going. Tell me something. I don't know. I gotta get my next thing ready. Just keep going.
So, I actually did like the Indiana Jones movie, which I was not expecting. I even said before I watched the movie that if I ended up liking the movie, I was gonna be so mad because that meant I went 21 years not watching a movie that I could potentially have loved this entire time. And solely because my family is not sci-fi-ish oriented or like action adventure oriented. My mother likes Alien, but other than that, it's like everything else is like horror movies, like 80s, 90s horror movies.
Which I'm gonna get you on Alien. Don't you worry about that.
Oh no, I tried watching it once, but I made the mistake of eating food while I was starting to watch that. Same problem I had with Hellraiser. Okay, so if you know the introduction to Hellraiser,
I know Hellraiser. Yeah.
I was eating ramen. Oh yeah, I was eating ramen. Like I had just placed this giant bowl of ramen.
Were you eating it with like?
I literally was like scooping up the bowl, and because everyone always says I should watch Hellraiser because I like all the other ones like that are on that board, right? And the opening scene happens. I look at the scene and see this squiggly shit and just like it makes me like ew. And just thinking about it. And I look back at my ramen and I look back at my mother and I was like, turn this shit off right now. She was like laughing so hard. I was like, no, I'm not kidding. I cannot finish my soup from watching this.
All right.
But
that's enough of your
my Hellraiser.
Your Hellraiser diarrhea story. All right, to get back on the topic. Speaking of diarrhea.
Oh my god.
Ultimate segue. All right, what did you think of during the big basket chase scene? Indy walks into the crowd and there's a sword fighter. They were supposed to have a giant, awesome sword fight.
Yeah.
But instead, Indy just shoots him. What did you think of that?
That's very anticlimactic. I really thought he was gonna like pick up something.
But that's why it's funny.
Yeah. And then he like did like, and then what got me mad was like, I saw another reference because that scene, like that thing where like there's a knife and a gun, like that always happens in movies now. And I just realized like 2 seconds ago when you said that. They got it from this movie. Mm-hmm. Because how many times does that happen to you where like they have a knife and you think, oh, they're fucked, and then the guy pulls out a gun and you're like, well, you're fucked now.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, not personally in my daily life, no. Does it happen to you a lot?
Once or twice.
Okay, you're pretty cholo, so it probably does happen.
I don't think I'm pretty cholo.
You're the one that brought a friggin' kielbasa and then just started eating it raw during the movie. It
wasn't raw.
She brought a fully cooked kielbasa in the package.
It's a sausage if you don't know what that is.
Yeah, and instead of asking me to heat it up for her, she just opened it up and just started eating it
hungry.
With her bare hands.
I do that at home. Like, how is that weird? I don't understand.
Internet, judge her. Judge her hard.
Okay, so just saying that's not weird. But second, so was that the sword fight that you were referencing earlier?
That was the sword fight. So
where he was like trying not to shit himself.
Yes, Harrison Ford had a horrible fever and was about to literally shit his own pants when he was just like, screw it, and he just pulled out his gun and shot the guy.
He was just like, no. But you know what? When you said that in the beginning, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But when the sword fight, when it looked like there was going to be a sword fight, I was like, wait, I think this is the scene he was talking about. I looked at Harrison Ford's face. You could tell that poor man was holding it.
Oh, yeah.
He was trying so hard. Because you could see it on his face. He goes, fuck. It was just
yep. Everyone was very sick in this movie. It was kind of great.
So bad.
All right. So, overall, would you say that you could watch this, like, maybe once a year?
Yeah, probably more.
Maybe more than once a year?
More than once a year.
Yeah, you're going to pop this out next time you have a couple drinks and it's you want a fun action movie? I don't think it's
like that. I think it's going to be like one of those times where like I don't really know what to watch because I don't really want to watch like a modern movie. I do it a lot where I like want to watch old movies. I do that with like the original Frankenstein movie, all my old movies, Harry and the Hendersons, Crazy, Blank Check. So I feel like it would go into like that. Leave My Blank Check Alone. That's my favorite movie.
Okay. We'll talk about that later. I haven't seen it, so we're going to do an episode on that. Shush. All right. Let's go.
But yeah. So it's definitely going to go in that pile of movies where like I can like gladly grab from it and be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to watch this movie.
Okay.
For like lunch or for dinner.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that it goes into that pile, and I can't wait for you to see Last Crusade. That's the one we'll do next. We'll do Temple of Doom last.
Yeah.
As I said, that is a lot of people, they don't consider that one very good, but those people can go to hell because it's great.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the other two, I will admit, but it is so much fun, especially if you like some really dark, like 80s horror iconography.
I
It's
very
great.
much do.
There's I don't want to spoil too much, but there is a scene where they pull a heart out of a living man.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty great. Also, chilled monkey brains.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's great.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get more into that one later. I don't want to give you too much. All right, so I think that concludes this episode. Do you want to plug your YouTube channel?
I kind of did that in the beginning, but I don't mind doing it twice.
You have to do it again.
So this is Danica Marie, and I have a channel under the same name, Danica Marie. I do story times, mukbangs, kind of whatever I'm feeling for that week. Sometimes vlogs. I'm really random, and I just like to post what I want to on my channel. So if you don't like categories, my channel is definitely for you. And if you do like categories, bye.
And I am Noel Kroll. I'm the host of not only this podcast, but I'm also the host of Beard Broth. Check out the YouTube channel Beard Broth. We had a video on October for a pumpkin cake. I'm going to be doing a new video just as soon as we can. They take a long time to make, but I'm really excited about this next one.
It's such a good video, just saying.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I like your channel too. It's very quirky.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am a quirk.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, so I can't wait to have you back on the podcasts. We clearly have a great dynamic going. And I'll post a link to your channel in the comments below.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
For more information, visit SpiderHillProductions.com. And remember, that explains the Spider Hill.